Alright, welcome back to another math video. Today we're continuing on with classifying quadrilaterals, but instead of identifying a new quadrilateral, we are just going to do a couple of example problems. I'll do one today and I'll probably add a couple more in future videos. With that said, let's get into our first example problem. Alright, here we have our first example problem. Right away, when you want to do these types of problems, you want to first make sure we know what the shape is. Hopefully you can recognize that this is a kite. So being a kite, we're going to use the properties of a kite to solve this problem. If you're unfamiliar with the properties of a kite, I did a separate video. I recommend going back and looking at that video and taking down appropriate notes. Alright, let's look at the question they are asking. This says, what is the length of the segment CD? So let's first identify what they're talking about. So here's my segment CD, and they want to find this length. A lot of these types of problems, in order to solve them, you have to identify what the variable is and solve for that. If you notice here, we have an x here and an x here. Hopefully you remember the properties of a kite say that the top two sides are congruent to each other and the bottom two sides are congruent to each other, which I do have marked here. So knowing that these two sides are congruent, we can set them equal to each other, this side equal to that side, and solve for x. So that's going to be our first step. So that all I did was set this side equal to this side because they are congruent. We're allowed to do that. That's what these little hash means. And now we just go ahead and solve. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of anything that's added or subtracted to the side with the variable. In this case, I have a plus 2, so I got to get rid of that. So I'm going to subtract 2 from each side. Clean that up a little. On the left, I'll be left with just the 2x, and then 20 minus 2 is 18. And then next step, to get x by itself, since this is getting multiplied by 2, we want to take the inverse of that. So the inverse of multiplication is you want to divide both sides by 2. That will give us what we're looking for, with just the x on the left side. And if I do 18 divided by 2 on the right side, you will get our answer of 9. So knowing that, we can go ahead and plug our 9 into the other side over here, because we have a 4x, and we know that this side is congruent to that. Once we plug our 9 in, we just have the 4 times 9 equals 36, and there's your answer. So this side, segment CD, is equal to 36. Hopefully this first example problem helps. I will do a couple more in the future, but make sure you understand each property of the quadrilateral you're dealing with and using those properties to help you solve for the solution or the question they are asking. With that said, have a great day.